Welcome back to Daybreak. We have a very special guest in studio, especially for me. I'm a music buff. We have Richard Amoroso.
That's correct.
And he's in from Philadelphia to play this weekend. There is the Masterworks at the Helena Symphony. We have Tchaikovsky's 6 and Prokofiev's Concerto No. 2 in G minor.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Coming.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's just great to hear this man play. And I wanted to hear now, you had talked about this piece. It's a very emotional piece, and it's broken into 3 movements. Now, you had given me a little sample of those 3 movements. Can you do that with your connotations?
Yeah, well, basically, even just the first movement, I was talking about how eclectic it is. It was written sort of the same time Romeo and Juliet was written, so you hear a lot of similar sort of moods and mood swings, and you'll hear something from the very beginning that's very obviously very dark. And then immediately you go into another section. It's like very different, like sort of like the young Juliet. Very nice and light and playful. And then you go into something just very romantic in the third part. So it just mood swings, and it really just, I love this concerto. I grew up listening to it, and I was telling you earlier too, I really just love Prokofiev. It was the first thing I ever told my dad, I really love this piece. It was Love for Three Oranges, and that's the first thing that I really fell in love with as classical music, and I was probably only like 7 or 8 years old.
Yeah, and you said too that a lot of people would know Prokofiev without maybe knowing that they know him.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because Prokofiev, they wouldn't know who that is, but they know all his music for sure.
Right, and you might know one, the Peter and the Wolf,
right.
Something that you might hear.
Yeah, that's a very familiar,
a childhood favorite of mine.
Yeah, of
and I was saying, kids these days, I don't know if they get this same dose that we did. It was in, in commercials, in cartoons, and everything. But it's so great. You, as a child, you knew that you wanted to play violin?
Yeah, I grew up. My father was a cellist, and he brought home a violin. He was actually going through different instruments because he was getting his teaching certificate. So he would bring all kinds of instruments home, even though he played cello as a professional. But he brought home a violin, and of course, a cello was way bigger than I was. And then when I saw this smaller cello in my mind, I was like, my eyes popped out. I'm like, Dad, you have to get me one. You have to get. And that's how it all started. So, and he brought me. The first one was actually too big. He had to bring me a second one. I was devastated. Then finally gave me one that was my size, and it was. I don't remember ever not playing the violin.
So, what's your favorite movement of this piece?
Oh, that's a good question. I think
There's 3 movements.
Yeah, there's 3 movements. Oh, those are tough questions because every movement is so different. I really love this sort of, again, every movement, except for the last movement, is very, again, eclectic. There's so many mood changes. Prokofiev is very much like that in his, nothing is very sort of, I would say, usual in terms of the slow movement, fast movement. There's fast parts in the slow movement, there's slow parts in the fast movement. It really changes so differently, and that's what makes it, Prokofiev so interesting to me. I was telling my wife, I really love Mahler for that reason, because it bounces all over. And that's sort of the way my mind works. I'm like onto something else, and then my mind, that's what I love about these kinds of composers, that it's so unpredictable.
Well, if you do want to see Richard play this, there are still tickets available this Saturday, and you can contact the Helena Symphony's office. You can also go to their website. And Richard, so great to have you here. I'm excited. I'll be right in the front.
Really good.
Yeah, I've got some good seats. I will be there to listen to you, and maybe you can play us out.
Yeah, I'll play a little bit of the second movement.
Thank you.